Welcome everybody. We all know different kinds of adjectives that go from terrible to incredible, right? But the stuff in the middle is a little bit tricky. And so today I want to talk about some of those adjectives in the middle between terrible and incredible, somewhere in the middle, the ones that might be a little bit tricky, a little bit confusing. And so we're going to look at some of these words and look at some examples and talk about some of the nuance, some of the little tricky bits, and some example sentences of how you can use these words. So today we're going to be talking about scale of adjectives, the scale of adjectives. So like I just mentioned a second ago, we have something's terrible, it's really bad. Something's incredible, it's really, really good. And then we have lots of stuff in the middle. And so we're going to take a look at some of these adjectives that are in the middle that can be a little bit tricky. Hi, Paulina, welcome. Thanks for saying hi. So we're going to take a look at all this stuff and go from bad to good. And then if things go well today, we're going to take a look at some other adjectives next week about different things. But today we're going to be talking about quality. And quality just means how good something is. And so there's a lot of stuff on the screen here right now, but we're going to take some of it slowly. Now, really, really, really bad, the worst, something awful. You could say it's terrible. Oh my God, that movie was terrible. If something's really, really good, you can say that it's incredible. Oh my God, it's amazing. And there's a scale going from terrible to incredible and lots of stops along the way. And some of these, close to the bottom and close to the top, are not so hard, I think. All right? I'm guessing that you guys think it's okay. Something's bad. Something's really bad. And something's terrible. That's like the worst. Or at the other end, something's great. Something's awesome. Something's incredible. It's even better. So the ones at the end, we're going to forget about today because I don't think it's super, super hard. We're going to take a look at the stuff in the middle. Okay? Now, this is a little bit tricky because there's something called a false friend in there. Now, in Chinese, a lot of times people will use the word 不错, and they think that it's the same as not bad. But in American English, not bad is kind of just in the middle. So it's called a false friend because they seem like they should be the same. Well, 不错 is not bad, so they should be the same level, right? The same amount of good. But not really. It's called a false friend because it tricks you. It's not really the same. So we're going to look at this scale on the middle. All of these are very close to the middle, but you go one way or another, okay? So we're going to start from something that's close to bad and then something that's close to great. So we'll start from not good and then go up to fine, go to not bad, and then pretty good, and then good, okay? So all of this is very subtle. So it's a little bit hard to understand. It's easy to forget how these are different. And also, remember, this is very subjective. Subjective means that every person feels a little different about these words. And so the way I feel about these words might be a little bit different than someone else. But in my experience, in my life, these are the feelings I get from these words and how I use them every day. Okay? So let's start with not good. Not good is close to bad. Well, it's not good. It's kind of bad. It's a little bit bad. And so we're on the scale close to bad. So not good. Here's an example sentence. Bob, your cake was not good. you put in too much sugar. So you could think of it this way. Okay, it's definitely not good, so it's probably close to bad, right? It's not quite just bad, but it's not good, okay? So on that lower scale, Bob, your cake was not good. So this is something that you could say if your friend cooks for you or bakes for you. I've been watching a show called Nailed It, where they bake cakes and the people making the cakes don't know what they're doing. And so sometimes they make bad mistakes and you might say, oh geez, sorry, your cake is not good. So this is close to the bad side, okay? Then a little bit closer to, getting ahead of myself. Another way to say not good is pretty bad. So bad is just, well, bad. It's worse than not good. Pretty, a lot of times, if pretty is by itself, oh, you're so pretty. But as an adverb, pretty means kind of. So pretty bad is basically kind of bad. So that's why we put it a little bit above bad. So, oh, that's pretty bad. This is pretty low on this scale. Okay? So I might say this sentence. The new Jurassic World movie looks pretty bad. I don't think I'll see it. Okay, so again, this is my opinion. I haven't seen it, but just watching the trailers for this movie, it looks pretty bad. So it doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look bad. It just looks pretty bad. So this is maybe a 3 on the scale. So it's kind of bad. I'm not going to spend time to watch it. Okay? Now, as we get closer to the middle, we have the word fine. This is a tricky one. Wait a second. Why is fine on the low side of this scale? Shouldn't fine be like in the middle or a little bit good? A lot of you, when you're growing up, you learned, hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you, and you? So, hello, how are you? I'm fine. So growing up, you learned that fine means pretty good, like kind of good, right? But for native speakers, the word fine is actually a little bit bad. A little bit. It's close to the middle, but a little bit bad. And that's because usually we use Americans, when speaking, are pretty positive, meaning that we generally go too good when we're describing something. And so if you say something's fine, the word fine is like in the middle, but because we usually don't just say that in the middle, it actually ends up being a little bit bad. Just a little bit. So, my day was fine. I just sat in meetings all day. So, my day was fine. Now, how does that day sound? I just sat in meetings all day. Well, it doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound pretty bad. It doesn't sound not good. It just sounds fine. It's just kind of boring, right? So it's not bad. It's not good. And it's close to the middle, but maybe a little bit boring. It's fine. I'm fine. So this applies to if someone asks you how you are. They might say, oh, how are you today? If you say, I'm fine. Someone might ask you, oh, are you okay? What's wrong? Because saying you're fine, it sounds like it's a little bit bad. Maybe you're not very happy. Usually when someone says, oh, how are you today? People will be more positive and say, like, oh, I'm pretty good. Okay? So if you use fine, just because it's so close to the middle, it sounds kind of bad. Okay? Similarly, we have the word okay. And also it's the way you say it. Okay. It sounds like it's close to the middle, but a little bit bad. How are you today? I'm okay. So maybe you're not bad, but you're not good. You're just okay. Maybe a little bit bored, a little bit not happy. Okay? So I loved excuse me. So this is for me. I loved the novel Dune, but the movie was just okay. Again, this is my opinion, so don't write angry letters to me. I loved the novel Dune. So I read this book and I love it. It's great. But the movie was just okay to me. I thought it was in the middle, but kind of on the not great side. But that's because I like the book so much, right? If you love the book, you're probably going to be a little bit disappointed by the movie. It was okay, but they didn't have this part. They didn't do this right. Blah, 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 blah. So, like we said, okay is close to the middle, maybe a little bit negative. So if someone says, how are you today? And you say, I'm okay. They might be a little bit worried because it sounds a tiny bit bad. Okay? Now, let's go to the true middle. Not bad. What the heck? That's what we were saying before about false friends. In Chinese, if you say 不错, that's pretty good, right? Like, oh yeah, I liked it. 不错. But in English, saying not bad is very much in the middle. Well, it's not bad, but it's also not good, right? It's not bad, but it's not good, so I didn't say, oh, it's good. So that puts it right in the middle. And so it's kind of that feeling of like, whatever, okay? So here's an example. Did you see the Atom Project? It wasn't bad. Okay, so this is a movie on Netflix that I watched a little while ago. And I think it wasn't bad. And again, not bad, you can take not and stick it with the verb, right? It wasn't bad is it was not bad. And this movie, it was fine, but then I watched it with my friend and I said, hey, do you remember that movie? What did you think of it? And my friend said, wait, what movie are you talking about? I totally forget that movie. And so that's kind of perfect for why it's not bad. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't really good. It was just right in the middle and you kind of forget about it. So something that's not bad is like whatever. You don't really have a strong feeling about it. Okay? Another word that's similar to not bad is all right. So like fine and okay, feel like a little bit bad. Not bad and all right are right in the middle, maybe a tiny bit good. I'm like, all right. So if someone says, hey, how are you today? You could say, oh, I'm all right. And it sounds like a tiny bit good. It's close to the middle, maybe a tiny bit good. So that pasta restaurant was all right. I'd go again. Oh, excuse me. I have to change the way I say it. So, to get it right in the middle, the way you say all of these words can change the meaning too. So, that pasta restaurant was all right. I'd go again. So, if you say it kind of like neutral, not strong feelings, it puts it in the middle, no feeling. That pasta restaurant was all right. But if you say it a little more happy, you could say, oh, that pasta restaurant was all right. If you go up at the end, it makes it even a little bit better. So not bad and all right are similar in this way. They're right in the middle, but to push it a little more positive, like a little bit good, you could say, oh, not bad, or all right. You just go up with your voice. It's still in the middle, but a little bit good. Okay? What's up next? So we had fine, okay, not bad, all right. And next up is pretty good. So this is an adjective that you can use all the time. If you're doing anything or someone's asking about how you are or how you're feeling, pretty good is the safest, easiest phrase to say. It's a little bit good, but it's not too good, okay? If you say something like okay, fine, not bad, all right, when someone says, how are you? And you say, all right, someone might think, oh, you're not very good. But the safe answer is pretty good because it's kind of good. Like, oh yeah, how are you today? Pretty good. Nothing too exciting, but you're feeling okay. You're feeling kind of good. Like we said before, pretty means kind of, and so it's kind of good, right? If someone asks you, how are you? And you say, I'm amazing, you might shock them. So I would recommend to you, stick with pretty good. Hey, how are you today? I'm pretty good. Okay? So here's an example sentence. Pangolin's performance was incredible. Pangolin is a band that I like. Pangolin's performance was incredible. The other bands were pretty good too. So here's one band that's incredible. And then the others were pretty good too. So like, I enjoyed them. I had a good time, but they didn't blow my mind. So, like we said before, we have incredible, which is super good. If someone says, how are you? And you say, oh, I'm incredible. They might get surprised. Wow, why are you so good? But like I said before, the safe answer is pretty good. Okay? So, next up, we're just going to keep on moving up. Pretty good is kind of alone at that level. It's like kind of good. It's not whatever. It's not quite good. It's just pretty good. It's the safe answer for a lot of questions. Okay, what's after pretty good? Of course, is just good. And so if you actually like something, you can say, wow, well, it's good. Okay, so you feel good, you feel happy, and you could say, my English class was good today. I learned about adjectives. So this means you're satisfied. There's nothing missing, right? If you're in the middle there, it's like, I don't know how to feel. Pretty good is, it's kind of good. I liked it, but maybe it wasn't great. I'm not totally satisfied. But if you use good, it sounds like I'm happy. I didn't need anything more. It's just good. So hopefully you feel this way. My English class was good today. I learned about adjectives. Okay? And then after that, you can just keep on going and going and going, right? So after good, you can go to strong feelings, right? So good is you're comfortable, you're satisfied. And then from there, we have keep going up, up, up. We have, wow, I'm great. Okay? Now, like I said before, if someone asks you, how are you today? And you use one of these strong feelings, it might be a little too shocking. Someone might be like, wait, oh my gosh, why are you so great? Maybe you won the lottery or something. So we have great. Or that movie was awesome. So move up one level. Or even better than that, it was fantastic. Okay? Or that book is incredible. Okay? Or moving up after that, oh, my student is excellent. And you took a test. Oh my gosh, you are outstanding. So all of these words are how to go up, 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 up. And all of these are really, really great. And like I said, these are the ones that are, again, these are subjective. So I think it goes great, awesome, fantastic, incredible, excellent, outstanding. But other people might feel differently, right? So these ones are just very similar and good ways to talk about things you love, you think are great. Okay? So, that's kind of it for today. That's kind of a quick little summary of this scale of words for quality. So we have something is terrible, something's really bad and bad. And then we got to what we were talking about today. The middle parts are what are a little bit tricky. Something is not good. Well, it's not good. It's close to bad, but it's not actually bad. And then we said that fine is in the middle, but actually kind of bad. So when someone says, "How are you today?" be careful about saying, "I'm fine," because it sounds like you're a little bit bad. I'm fine. Nah. Maybe you're a little bored. Maybe you're a little uncomfortable. Maybe you're too hot because it's summertime. I'm fine. And then right in the middle, this is the tricky one. Not bad is, it's not bad, but also it's not good. How was that movie? It was not bad. Should I watch it? I guess so. So it's right there in the middle. A tiny bit good, but not quite good like in Chinese. Something that I would call 不错 is pretty good. Pretty good is the one that I think everyone should try to use all the time. You're not super enthusiastic, but you're showing that, yeah, you liked it. You think it's good. Yeah, that book was pretty good. You should try it. That's a safe way to recommend something. Because if you say, "Oh, it's amazing," and your friend doesn't love it, well, then that's kind of awkward, right? But if you say, "Oh yeah, it's pretty good," it means it's worth trying, but maybe it's not perfect. And then as we get higher up, "Oh, it's good." You're pretty confident in how good it is. I'm satisfied with it. There's not any big issues. Then, "Oh, it's great. It's super good." And then, "Oh, it's awesome. It's wonderful." And then, "Oh my God, it's incredible." Something that's amazing. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Hopefully you can find some things to entertain you that are pretty good, great, awesome, or incredible. Okay? So I think for today we can kind of wrap up here. Keep it a little bit short and quick. And next week we can focus on a different set of adjectives. We can look at the scale of coldness, we can look at the scale of heat, and we can talk about some other stuff as we go forward. Okay? So that's about it for today. I hope you guys had a good time. Yeah, if you have any questions about what we learned today or talked about today, feel free to leave a comment. You can ask me anything. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Bye-bye.